Okay, how are you children? Today is another new day that we have to revise mathematics. And as you know, I'm here for the candidates. We want to move and see the particular areas that affect our candidates. I will go through a number of papers and questions to see the key areas where children have challenges. And we want to do it together here. So, being a new day, it's a math day. Math revision. One, I will start with the first areas in mathematics. There are key areas where they normally talk about how many groups, of hundreds are in the following number. Now they give you a number. For example, they give you a very big number. For example, this number. Now they are asking how many groups of 10 are present in the value of digit 5. They have specified the digit, which is 5. But what did they say? How many groups of 10? We are going to take this number 5. Place the whole number in the place value chart. Then we start from the other side. These are ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. So when we are finding total value of a number, is the position of the number in the chart, which is thousands. Then we take that number itself, multiply by 1,000. We are getting 5,000. So total value of any number is the position of the number in the place value chart and the number itself when we multiply. But they asked us how many groups of tens are in this number, digit 5, total value of digit 5. So I will divide here by 10. What do we get? 500. So we have 500 groups of tens. Here, when we multiply, we get 5,000. So your answer here remains 500. But now, another very, very similar question. They are like synonyms. They say, how many times? Times is how many times? When they say how many times, is the value of digit 5 more than the value of digit 2? The value of digit 5 more than digit 2. I hope you understand that. Because they say how many times, the word times has been used here. The opposite of times is division. So we are going to underline the word times. And this question now similarly looks like this one. We are going to find the value of 5 and 2 in the specific number given. Here, the number they have given us is 8, 5, 0, 1, 2, 7, 8. Where is 2? We have to underline. Where is 5? We have to underline. At our level, we have now known how to find out the total value. We start with the largest number. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, then hundred of thousands. So 5 by 100,000, we get 500,000. Here is 200. We divide by 200. Simplify. 2 into 500 is 250. Put this 0 here. So we get our answers 2,500. We get our answers 2,500. So you have to be very keen. This now comes to another question, where they normally say, by how much is the value of digit 5 greater than digit 2? Here you are going to get the 500,000 and you subtract 200, because they have said, by how much is the value of digit 5 greater than digit 2? Digit 2. Now we all get all of them the total values, then we subtract. So remember, by how much is this value greater than this? When that word is used, you have to be very specific. That's when you will find the center giving you the choices for division and the choices for subtraction. So we have to be very keen. This is one very, very important area. Now, once we have understood that very well, you will find some exercises and do. Another area is where we have increase in items and percentage decrease. Now, there is a table I normally form. This is my table. I normally like to call it Shikuku table. Why? I will specify the numbers here. In the middle, I normally put what is called original number given. Up here, I'll use the increase. And down here, any decrease. Now, in this question, we have been told that in 2009, the enrollment in a school was 450. So we will take this 450 to be our original number. I'm writing in red so that you can see it very well. This is our original. Then they say the following year, which was 2010, the enrollment decreased. A decrease is a reduction. It falls down. So this, we must first of all understand that original is always 100%. When I'm standing like this, my weight is 100%. When you are seated like that, your weight is 100%. So this one is 100%. But now, we have to understand that it dropped by 10%. From the original 100, when you subtract 10, you get 90. So I don't want us to maybe take the longest way. I will now subtract the 10. I say 100 minus 10. I get 90. I'll come in my box and say 90 over 100 times the original weight or number of children. Simplify here and here, here and here. Now we multiply. 45 by 9. This is 45. Carry 4. 36. This is 405. So it has dropped. The reduction is by 45 in number, which means 10% of 450 is 45. We have subtracted from it to get 405. Now, at this level, it again assumes the position of 100%. It assumes the position of 100%. So this one becomes again 100% in its own right. When you are sick, you are weighing, for example, 100 kgs. And every week, you are reducing by 10%. And the center asks you this question: what will be the weight after 3 weeks? You also have to use this type of table. You draw it. Now here, it will be different from this one, because now your weight will be up here, because this original, you are 100 kgs. Original. Week 1, you reduce by 10. Week 2, you reduce by 10. Week 3, you reduce by 10. So what will be your weight at this level? You must understand. So we are back to our question. Now, since we know that this is 90%, according to the calculation, but at the back of your mind, remember that I have told you, once you reduce and you acquire a new weight or a new enrollment measure, at that level where you have reached, again, it takes the position of 100%. So at the back of our mind, we know that now 405 pupils is similarly equal to 100%. Now they are saying 2011, the number increased by 20%. Now from this point, it went up by 20%. So we shall come back. We will not use 90 again. 90 was when it was a drop. But when it reached this level, it assumed now, it took position and became 100. So we'll say if 100% is equals to 4 or 5. Now this one has increased by 20%. And any increase is an addition on top of 100%. So on top of what was already existing, which is 100%, there was an addition of 20% extra. So instead of calculating the 20%, then we add, we can simply say 100 plus 20. 100 plus 20, we get 120. So we'll say, what about 120? So we'll cross multiply. We will say 120 times 4 or 5 over 100. Simplify this and this. When you multiply 12 by this, we are going to get 4,860, but over 10. So our increase in number becomes 486. So I formed this table to help us navigate without forgetting where we have come from. This table equally, children, will help you when you are asked questions to do with bells ringing. They have the bells. Now you separate your table into segments. The first time you are normally given by the center in the question is normally our first time. That is our first time. So any other time the setter normally sets the question, they normally ask the children, what time will the bells ring again? Especially they say, for example, the first bell rang after 4 hours, the second one after 5 hours, the third one after 6 hours. Now, they ask the question, when will the bells ring together again? They are simply asking for this place, which is normally a second part. But when they talk of third time, just number your work. 1, 2, 3. So that this one becomes the third time in these tables. Here is when there is a reduction in weight. Somebody has gotten sick, reducing, you move the original weight up. But amount, decrease, increase, you put the original in the middle. So that is very, very important, children, that you must note this area. Another area is about proportion. This is increase and decrease. This is by how many groups, by how many times, how we cover this. The another thing is about proportion, especially when it comes to inverse. Look at this question. 12 painters. These are painters. Were employed to finish a job in 14 days. We are told, presumably, they were supposed to work for 14. These are people. These are number of days. There's 12 people are supposed to work for 14 days. Now, after painting for 4 days, these people who are supposed to finish work in 14 days, started the work after 4 days. 4 days, after 4 days, 3 more people were added, were employed. What are we going to do here, children? We will say if 12 can finish 14 days, Now they have already done 4 days. We will subtract the 4 days and assume they are starting afresh. We'll say, suppose the 12 can finish the rest of the work in 10 days. Why? Because we have subtracted the 4 days they had already done. They had already done. They had already done. Now we say 12 people or painters can still do the work in 10 days. In 10 days. Then 3 are added, so they will be together, they will be 15. Now if you look at 12, when you are 12 people, you take 10 days. 15, they will take a lesser time. It means when the number of people becomes large, the quantity reduces because they will now take fewer days to finish whatever bulk of work that was already there. So, what I normally teach my children, I say, I form a bracket here and I will ask myself, 12 are not many people. They take 10 days. What about 15? This means they will take fewer days or less. I have my own formula. I say now, when it is less, I will say less over more times the single number that remains alone. I normally refer to it as quantity. Now I'll come. I'll not cross multiply because this bracket has guided me. That's how you have to reason. It will be 12 over 15 times 10. 5 here, 3. 5 here, 2. 3 here, 1. 3 here, 4. I'm getting 8 days. The 15 people will take 8 days. Now listen to the question very well. The setter is asking, how many less days did they take to complete the job? Originally we knew the job was to end after 14 days. But they already did the 4 days. So we are going to bring back the 4 days and add to 8 plus 4. How many days together? The job has automatically taken 12 days when the 3 people are added. 4 that was already done plus the 8 that these other 3 people have aided the 12 to do. So they are taking 12 days. But the question is, how many less days? Now we add our own. How many less days from the original number of days that they were supposed to take? Now we bring back 14 minus 12. What do we get? 2 less, 2 days less. That is how we tackle such questions. Children, it's just about understanding the question. Understanding the questions. Once you understand the question, you illustrate, analyze very well in your mind, then you are capable of reaching the answer without much stress. So that is very, very important that you must know. The key areas. How setters try to challenge children. Another area that I'll look at briefly is about equations. Equations, for example, x minus 3 over 4 minus x over 6 is equals to a third. Now, look at this question. Sometimes we fail to understand why children fail this. In simple terms, the setter here is saying there is a particular number x that we don't know. If we place this number here and subtract 3 and divide the number by 4, the answer by 4, you will have a particular answer here. Then when you come with the same number here, divide by 6, then you subtract the 2 areas, your answer will remain the third. That's what the setter is saying. So let us think from that. To me, I normally tell the children, place a bracket here. Create a bracket for every number. Create a bracket for every number. Now, let us find the LCM of 4, 6, and 3. When I look at the numbers carefully, for my calculations, my quick calculations, I'll get the LCM as 12. Since it is 12, I'll multiply by every bracket. 12 by this bracket, 12 by this bracket, and also outside. Whatever you do, the other side, also the other side equate. So I will simplify. Here, 4 into 12, 3. Now I open the bracket afresh. It will be 3x minus 3 minus 3 is minus 9. 6 here 1, 6 here 2. Minus 2 times x is minus 2x. Is equals to 3 here 1, 3 into 12, 4. So my answer is 4. I have formed another equation whereby 3x, a number multiplied by 3, when you subtract 9, and again subtract the same number multiplied by 2, my answer will be 4. Now I will group them very well. I'll first do what is called circling this number, that is unlike term. Unlike term, I will drive it equally outside to the other like term. So when it's a negative crosses, this one becomes a positive. So I'll have 3x minus 2x. I get 3x minus 2x. I simply get x. So x, I add this number, 4 plus 9, I get 13. When you come back here, you can simply get that 13 minus 3 divided by 4. And you come back and also put here 13 divided by 6. Actually, when you prove this, you can actually go back and prove your answer. You know, math is about calculating and being able to reverse the calculation by proving. That's how you'll find that at the end of every paper, you are able to mark yourself. Math is the only subject you can mark yourself and know, this one I'm right, this one I'm right, this one I'm right. By the time you finish the paper, you have 100%. So it is very, very important you look at that. Children, these are some of the areas that we are looking at. I want you to continue being able to analyze, form your own illustrations within a question. You summarize. Once you summarize, you will end up getting everything and be able that when you reach at the final step, you must be able to reverse and go back to where you started. That is very important for children. Otherwise, I want to wish you well as we yearn to do our end of year Kcpe exams. You will be getting more of these revisions in any area, be it money, be it whole numbers, be it measurement, which is the widely said topic, including money. Like last year, you find that money had almost 13 questions. And we shall navigate through and help you till you score your best mark. Till next time, we meet again, same time. Thank you.